Do you remember September the 10th of last year? The assassination of Charlie Kirk. Remember that? Go back and think the way you felt that. Just go back to that day, that sense of, I admired him. I wasn't an acolyte. I wasn't a follower. I wasn't an apostle. But I thought, my God, this is horrible. Then I found out young people, friends and relatives and young people in our family and children of friends of mine, we all couldn't believe how many fans he had and how many people listened to him every single day and were absolutely crushed by his death. It was something that I couldn't believe it. And then we were all unanimously just horror-stricken as much as we can. Listen, we've been through a lot of assassinations in our life. But this, in front of everyone. Why? Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't start off thinking there was something to this. There's something wrong. I didn't have any facts. What am I to think was irregular about it? I wasn't really that familiar with him to an extent. TPUSA, I mean, he was good. I saw his lectures. I'm not trying to downplay what he did. What I'm trying to tell you was I didn't hang on every word he said because I pretty much had my mind made up about, transgenderism and morality and that sort of thing. But I knew he was an exemplar, a pole star. He was the bellwether. He was Exhibit A in this new iteration of young people looking for something other than the usual, than the temporal, something that involves morality and God and the church. Okay, fine. Then we started to find out the official narrative. Tell us what happened. Where was the shooter? There's the shooter. He's the shooter. What did he use? 30-06? I'm not going to go through this. But immediately it was like, wait a minute. Then it started. And through our grief, when I say grief, our sorrow, came Candace Owens. Candace Owens, I always respected her, but never saw, she's a one-woman grand jury. Overnight, the story fell apart. The official narrative fell apart. Whatever the narrative was, it was sloppily put together. The assassin, the weapons, even directions of bullets were being challenged by people. Remember that? And nobody said anything. Kash Patel didn't say anything. Pam Bondi didn't say anything. Granted, it was a state issue. Nobody seemed to know anything. And all of a sudden, after he was dead, it's like, well, what happened? Then came Erica Kirk. The thing that killed me. I'm sorry. The hand in the casket. If that would have been my wife, first of all, you wouldn't have seen me. I wouldn't have been in any shape. I wouldn't have been good for anyone. And you would not have seen me on any TV show ever. Screw TPUSA, money, merch, nothing. I would have been thunderstruck. I would have been paralyzed. But in 12 days, now, by the way, all of those little machinations and those little idiosyncratic irregularities were exposed by Candace. And then all of a sudden, 12 days later, this leaked video comes. I can't say it enough. And the grande dame of the grift, here she is in all of her glory. The Betty Furness, ask your parents. She was like a Carol Merrill, Vanna White, turning letters. Here I am. The official face, the cutesy face. This, hey guys, this is insane. It was like a sorority fundraiser. It sickened me. At least I thought it was. And then all of the leak stuff. And we're not going to talk about internal investigations and internal financial. Let them figure that one out. But this is a different story. This is something that I could not believe I was even hearing. This was something that showed me a level, I don't know what the word is. I'm not going to say words like narcissist. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm not going to, there's far too much of that. I'm not going to use psychopathy. I'm not going to do anything. But there is something that is so Stepfordy and weird, and nobody will address it. You don't see anybody on cable news talking about it, do you? Nope. Nobody's talking about that. Because people are thinking, holy, did you see this? Maybe it's better that we kind of back on out of here. This is not going to end well. And then Candace Owens, bless her heart, exposed in that audio. Or exposed, not the diagnosis that it was some little trivial optics slip. It was a little like, well, a few words, she might have been she was nervous, all right? It wasn't some awkward management moment. It was a gut punch right in the solar plexus to anyone who still believes that leading something of it, especially, I'm going to say it again, not even 2 weeks, 12 days after his assassination on TV in the world. She saw this over and over. She had to have. She sounded great. You're not supposed to sound that great. Face it. Hey, guys, you were insane. Did you see our hat sales? Dear God, where was the humility? Where was the emotional intelligence? Where was the real human connection? I'm saying it again because I can't believe it. And what comes through the speakers and the TV, again, is not the voice, because I don't know about you. I should say this. Can you imagine when she speaks again? Can you imagine it? She says, I want to go out. I want to go out. And somebody there, I think, is telling her, Erica, you cannot be on TV anymore, or optics or videos or what? You can't. But I was a beauty queen. I don't care what you are. If you won the Nobel Prize, you can't do it. You don't have it. You don't know how to reel it in. People have never heard the voice of a grieving widow. All you saw was the performance. And I don't want to make fun of people. But when I first saw her with a napkin, this, I thought, poor thing. Then I realized it's almost like it was the same shot. Like you could just interpose them. They were modular, and they go on this back-to-back, wall-to-wall. Can you imagine Jackie Kennedy on Fox News, or Harris Faulkner and Hannity, this and that, and then Barry Weiss at CBS? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine anybody who's doing fundraisers and going to the White House and meet the president? Isn't that? Remember those conversations that LBJ had with Jackie when he was kind of trying to seduce her, but she just took her kids and she just wanted to get out. She was so afraid. She was so afraid. One of the reasons why she buried Aristotle Onassis was because she was afraid somebody was trying to kill her. She just retreated. She retreated from the world. She was scared. She was just dumbstruck, numbed. Not our Erica. Nope. They wanted to see, or would have expected, a widow weighed down by shock and loss. And it's the voice, though. This polished executive delivering some stage rally. It was weird. And it sounded like a scripted pep talk from like a sorority, with built-in momentum and metrics and messaging. And when you listen to it, you thought, I can't believe what I'm hearing. 12 days? It's like, okay, come on. Let's go, folks. All right, stop with the grieving. Come on, let's go. Put it behind us. Charlie's dead. Okay. Now, let's talk about sales and donors. Jerry, do you have a project? I was like, what am I hearing? It was like a boardroom briefing. They wanted a memorial aftermath. Do we know where Charlie was buried? Did we ever see his parents, I think, or anything? It's like, forget it, it's done. It was like a sales kickoff. It was like a car dealership. Rather than a moment of national mourning. And the contrast explains again why people reacted so viscerally. Americans instinctively recognize authenticity, and they instinctively recoil from artificial, plastic, synthetic presentations. Maybe she thinks she's a great actress. Maybe she thinks, oh, they're buying this. No, they're not. This recording sounded engineered and managed and image-driven from start to finish. It felt like a constructed performance, like a scripted piece, like she's playing a role rather than raw human response, or there was nothing human about it at all. And Candace deserves credit, again, for refusing to sanitize what so many people felt but were afraid to articulate. She said it. Something about this moment felt wrong, inconsistent, phony, fake, problematic. Less than 2 weeks after a public assassination, the tone should have been restrained, somber, sober, grounded. And I keep saying instead, did you hear the enthusiasm? I'm surprised it didn't have music and a whoopee cushion and, dun, 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 dun. Hey, kids. The enthusiasm wrapped in kind of like, I heard this gratuitous spiritual language. Whenever she's like, oh, yeah, and the blood of Jesus and the redemption. Okay, let's go back to it. Let's go bird sales, hat sales. How we doing? It was productivity kind of framed as purpose and this kind of like this reckless, raw ambition was, I guess, camouflaged as healing. The comparison to corporate sales culture, it works because it captures the rhythm perfectly. Always moving forward. Remember, they can't play her again. You'll probably never hear her again if they're smart. If they're smart, they will say, thank you very much. You're going on an island or you're going to go away. We don't want you near this. Your thing's up. You don't have it. You don't even know what you're doing. We're trying to keep this afloat because we want the money. And you come in there, and every time you open your mouth, it's 2 weeks of people just throwing up into their phones as they watch this and listen to this. It's like Glengarry Glen Ross, always closing, always building the brand. Even when the moment demands silence and reflection and a little bit of sobriety and the emotional whiplash, I keep saying it. It's exactly what it is. All this created by bounty between God talk and then donation numbers and then staff praise and then back to God. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel reverent. And it feels manufactured to the point that it feels managed and managerial and polished and burnished and controlled. Candace didn't exaggerate this moment at all. She let the audio stand for itself. You just had to say, She's looking at it like, yep, you're listening to this. You're hearing this. She let the tone come through. She let the tone expose, in essence, the posture. And by the way, she let cadence reveal priorities. Listen to the way she spoke. The gap, this huge gap between public image and private, leadership style was, oh my God. Supporters were told that they were watching someone step up to out of duty. And the recording reveals somebody already operating in full executive mode the whole time. She wasn't pulled up reluctant. I didn't want to do this. That's the story. I had to do it. I know I had my babies to take care of. I had my babies. That's what I would have wanted to do, take care of my babies. But I had to. I had to do the right thing. And the targets were driven and the tragedy was framed as momentum fuel. And then all of this became weird. They capitalized on everything. Loss. And that's why, by the way, that's why this moment matters. It shows instinct, not spin. And it shows you how power is exercised when cameras are off. See, this is the real thing. And this is somebody who figured it will never get out. It will never get out. Nobody's going to hear this. And something happens. I've seen this before. I've seen it in criminal clients. I've seen this in prosecutors. When people sometimes can feel, and I'm not suggesting she's in any way criminal or has done anything wrong, but some people feel that they are bulletproof, bad term, but you know what I mean, that they are impervious to anything. Erica Kirk believes she is America's sweetheart. When she smiles, that radiating smile, the look, the beaming, she knows that you're watching everything she's, and she knows you love her. And you watch her. And you will forget Charlie and you'll focus on her now. You want her to do well. You want her to be well. You want her books and her. She's going to come out and she's going to speak. Again, not about, well, here's what we're doing. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to carry on Charlie's legacy. You know what it's about me. Look at me. I'm handling this. I'm going to invoke the Bible for me. I'm going to talk about the directions of the TPUSA, whatever, through me. And then to God, it's this. Look at my strength. She's playing. The role is go out there and play the strong Amy Semple McPherson meets Tammy Faye Baker meets something. I don't know what it is. Look, Gloria Swanson. It's about me. It's my close-up. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. And I, by the grace of God, we will soldier on. We will recognize that how am I doing? I've seen cases fall apart. I've seen defendants, suspects, get indicted or charged because they blew an interview, because they didn't convey to somebody the feeling. They didn't convey to somebody that what was going on was real. So what do you think? You tell me. I want to hear from you. Am I right? Am I wrong? Do you feel like everything's terrific? Do you say, what are you talking about with Erica Kirk? She's doing nothing wrong. She's doing great. We need this courtroom, this boardroom ballast. We need this leadership now, especially because we have to keep this thing going. Charlie would have wanted it that way. Charlie wouldn't want us to sit back and to mourn him. Really? If something happened to her, what do you think Charlie would have done? What do you think? Oh, well, let's go right now. We have a new Erica Kirk memorial. Oh, no, let's go to hat sales. Jerry? I don't think so. I think he had a bigger heart. I think he was legit. I think he had a bigger heart. And I think he was going through a lot of personal grief at the end. And that's what Candace knows and other people as well. So what do you think? Do me a great favor, my friends. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. And I've got about 5 questions for you to review. Please look at them and tell me what you think. And thank you so much for being with us. This is one of the most fascinating stories as you and I collectively provide kind of like a citizen's grand jury. And I ask you right now, my friends, I beseech, I entreat, I importune you to comment as you see fit.